And welcome back to the Hot Lap. In other news, other than Adrian Newey and Christian Horner, Nico Hulkenberg is going to Audi. Okay, maybe not the most groundbreaking thing, something we may have expected. It was either going to be Nico Hulkenberg or Carlos Sainz. But interesting articles on motorsport.com and planetf1.com. I mean, they're saying 12 years late, how Hulkenberg is finally getting his shot at the big time. Yes, the man without a podium. Is this his best chance of actually getting one? So the driver market silly season has struck again. The name will be the same. 12 years after he left, though, Nico Hulkenberg is returning to Sauber in 2025. His circumstances, though, are very much different. And to be fair, so are the teams. So, as we know, the Stake F1 team / Sauber is going to be Audi. The rebrand is looming, and this may well be the shot that Hulkenberg feels he needs. And it's one a lot of people feel he's actually earned. He's been the VIP or the VM, very important person, or the MVP, most valued player when it comes to his stuff, I believe, at the Haas team. And his move from Haas to Sauber has been a while in the making. For example, only last September, he was openly coveting this exact transfer, recognising that Audi wanted a German driver when it first announced its F1 entry a year prior. Now, the manufacturer has been agitating the 25 driver market early. So, Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari, he's not going to, obviously I don't think Hamilton was ever going to go to the Audi, but it stirred another famous agitator in the sphere, Red Bull's motorsport advisor and king career maker, Helmut Marko. But Audi v Sauber, team representative Alessandro Alunni Bravi has deliberately positioned itself as a player in the market, not a spectator. They want big drivers, and if its 2026 driver lineup sorted early, it wants it sorted early. It's made its offers also to Ferrari's Carlos Sainz. He has been offered what's been reportedly a very lucrative offer. Now, given Audi's status and motorsport pedigree, this is a remarkable career turned around for a driver who in 2021, as in Hulkenberg, had been adrift since the year before, and he did sample IndyCar. Eventually, he ended up not that comfortable in, pursuing. And then came COVID-19, his replacement drives for both Racing Point and Aston Martin, where he did all right. And the Audi move provides Hulkenberg with the shot he thought he'd already been denied. Now, back in 2013, his previous F1 season in Sauber, it featured really good performances in what was a Ferrari-powered machinery. His drives in Monza in 2013, Korea, Suzuka and Austin were the highlights. In Korea, he thrillingly clapped Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton at bay. I think it might be on the app as well. It's definitely worth looking at. Then his 2010 Brazil rookie broke for Williams when he got pole. And his front-running driver Force India at the same track 2 years later were still fresh memories. He was in the line for winning that race. And in 2013, he was repeatedly linked with a subsequent move to Ferrari from joining Sauber. But, as we know, it never came. Now, the change to the V6 turbo hybrids placed a new premium on driver weight, and Hulkenberg at a slightly, and let's be fair, not a shabby 6 foot. Everything seemed to go against him. So I've never had an answer where teams said, sorry, no, we turned you down because you're too tall, Hulkenberg said in an interview with Select Media at the Belgian Grand Prix last year. He said, probably they wouldn't tell me to my face, but I'm pretty sure that it has hindered the odd opportunity and occasion to jump into a top car. Packaging issues, less space, more weight, which is not the right way round in this business. And he was speaking in the smaller comparatively Spartan Haas motorhome that soaking day in Spa. If you remember it. So the American squad and its then team principal Gunther Steiner gave Hulkenberg an F1 revitalisation in 2023 after we all thought he would not come back. He was chosen over German protege Mick Schumacher. And Hulkenberg had badged Steiner with calls and even data presentations about what he still had to offer. And he delivered swiftly. He had a 7th place in the Australian Grand Prix the year he came back, which might have been a podium had the stewards ruled differently over what was a chaotic end to that event. And that convinced Steiner to activate the option in Hulkenberg's 1+1, yeah, we've heard that before, initial contract for 2024. This is even before he really regularly started qualifying the last year. Haas knew they were onto something special, and the good form has continued into this year, with Hulkenberg leading teammate Kevin Magnussen 2-0 in Q3 performances and appearances from the opening 5 rounds, and he's beating him by 4 points. Now Audi, well, their boss is Andreas Seidel, who led the crack Porsche LMP1 squad, where in 2015 a certain Nico Hulkenberg won on his debut. So he knows how fast he is. Now, the odd rash error still remains along the lines of shunting Hamilton at Interlagos, but that was all the way back in 2012. I think his Qatar Grand Prix start gaff, but overall, Hulkenberg feels he's the same driver he was when his Renault stint ended in 2019. He just feels fitter. And at 38 years young in August next year, there will be some who call this a blocking seat for an up-and-coming racer. But this guy's really experienced. And the reality is that it actually makes sense for Haas to now sign Ollie Bearman. And that has opened the doors for an Ollie Bearman. Then, can Hulkenberg deliver? I think he can. He's still delivering in the Haas. But who are going to be the winners and losers of this move? Well, we've already spoken about Ollie Bearman, but Hulkenberg to Audi rumours, once again, they've been confirmed. So who is going to lose out? Well, Audi, they really want Carlos Sainz because he's the quickest driver. But Ollie Bearman, as we suggest, when one door closes, another one opens. Surely now Ollie Bearman is going to be favourite for the Haas. But who are the losers? Many have suggested that it's going to be Valtteri Bottas and Zhao Guanyu. Hulkenberg signing tells you one thing about Audi. They don't think much of their current drivers. Otherwise, they would have signed them already. Which is a bit of a move, which is a bit sad, really, because this is a Valtteri Bottas that has at times outraced Lewis Hamilton, one of the best racers in the business, potentially the best racer in the business. And he'd also outqualified him a fair amount as well, I think, for a teammate. So it's a fair point that neither, though, have performed miracles, and Bottas made the move across in 2022, had a promising first year, but in 23 he scored just 10 points, and for many was kind of lackluster. Now, Zhao Guanyu, on the other hand, he's failed to make an impact since arriving. He's been solid, but not great. Both are out of contract for next year, and Hulkenberg's arrival means, let's be fair, one of them, at the very least, is going to go, but who, I don't know. Now, what about Theo Pourchaire? So, Theo, another young driver, is finding the route to F1 is not fair. Now, since 2017, 5 of the 7 F2 champions have driven in F1, and the two that haven't just so happen to be the 2 most recent winners. 22 champion Felipe Dragovic is testament to how winning a title is no longer guaranteed way into F1 after a season that the Aston Martin reserve driver is quickly becoming F1's forgotten man. This is an Aston Martin team that has Lance Stroll, for example. So, yeah, they've just signed Fernando Alonso. So when Pourchaire won the F2 title last season, he would have known that missing out on the stake seat, obviously, was most certainly a possibility. And he said as much during the FAA prize giving. I'm disappointed, he said, to be honest, because I'm an F2 champion. I did some good results in the past. I did my best. The goal that the Sauber Academy told me was to win the championship. And I did it. Now, with Hulkenberg taking one spot, it's hard to see how Pourchaire gets onto the grid with them. If reports are to be believed, Audi are pushing for Carlos Sainz, and that is the calibre of driver they want. They want world-beating drivers. The other issue is Haas. While much of the focus has so far been on what Hulkenberg can do for Audi, there's been less discussion where that leaves Haas. Since his arrival, Hulkenberg has been the better of the 2 Haas drivers, and he's definitely been the asset in Komatsu's team. But Kevin Magnussen, is that going to help him more, though? His future is far from certain, where his contract will end up at the end of the year. Where is he going to go? But it could give Haas the opportunity to go bold and, as we mentioned, signed Ollie Bearman. With Ferrari tied up for the next couple of seasons at least, Bearman's route to F1 will likely come through a Ferrari-backed team, basically Haas, I think, rather than stake. So watch this space. The silly season is most certainly not over yet, but I would like to absolutely congratulate Nico Hulkenberg on a works drive eventually at a 2026. How fast they'll be, I don't know. But he's reportedly, the rumour is it could be a 3-year deal. So he could be there till 25, 26, 27. Yeah, he'll be old. No older than Fernando Alonso is now, though. And look how good Fernando Alonso is doing. So is Nico Hulkenberg finally going to get his chance? I hope he does. Like and subscribe if you want to see more news. We've also just done a video about why Adrian Newey is reportedly leaving Red Bull. Speak to you soon.